Okay, I got something special for y'all, especially all my Christian friends. I think you'll really love this side trip or sightseeing excursion. So stay tuned. So this is a popular pilgrimage site for both Colombians and Ecuadorians even. And of course, that means there's lots of little shops selling things, especially magically oriented. And magic includes Christian saints and such here, as well as other things. But in this particular case, it's all about the Christian saints and Catholics, and of course the Virgin Mary. And much like a lot of my trip, or some recent stops, it's very colorful here. And there's the main event. More on that later. I suppose that you really pay for this one on the way out, rather on the way in. It's a rather steep hike down, although it's nice and paved and definitely handicap accessible. But let's just say the climb on the way out will pay for your pleasures. Lots of plaques here. It's a popular place among the Catholics. This sign is an example that this is venerated by both Colombians and Ecuadorians, as the price for the bathroom is either 1 mil in Colombian pesos or a quarter in US, because Ecuador uses the dollar. There's an added advantage for visiting this time of year. Oh yeah, it's a manger scene. The Nativity. I may be a heathen, but even I can appreciate the natural beauty and the architecture here. And while the cable car isn't running right now, it is an option. But let me warn you, having done some research, it moves slower than I walk. Okay, it moves slower than normal people walk. I know I walk briskly, but it's very, very slow. So don't take it if you're in a hurry. And that's what it's coming to see. Pro tip, if you don't want to do all this walking, if you bring your moto, you won't have to. Why is this a pilgrimage site? Well, local lore has it that a poor peasant woman, shortly after the conquest, while the plagues were still ravaging the local populace, was walking through here under less than ideal circumstances with her very sick daughter. Her daughter died at the side of the church, and there's a magical painting on a rock, and they built the church around it. And yeah, the story is that she was immediately resurrected, the daughter that died from a plague from Europeans, that is. So, in case you're wondering, that's why this place has been holy for centuries. In the very back of the church, as you might have seen in an earlier video I shot from the doorway, there is a painting, and it depicts the Virgin Mary and others. And at any rate, it is supposed to be the site where the young child that was sick from a European plague disease was immediately resurrected upon her death. If you want to know more, I guess you can use Google or go check out some Catholic sites. They probably have more intel about this. At any rate, this is a really beautiful place, even if you're a heathen. And for Christians, maybe it holds even more value. So I think this was definitely worth the trip. If you decide to cross the border from Ecuador to Colombia, or Colombia to Ecuador like me, yeah, I know, in the middle of all this upturn and war on gangs and cartels, well, you should stop here along the way and enjoy the view. So this is likely my last major sightseeing site before I cross the border into Ecuador. And yeah, I reckon that'll be real adventure travel because I'm getting burned up on messages and comments about am I crazy and such. Well, I do know the layout of Ecuador quite well, so I think I'll be okay and I'll use common sense. Yeah, I actually might have some, but I definitely have some street smarts. Hey, I've been wandering for a long time. Anyway, I will show you some pictures along the way and let you know how things really are in Ecuador. This is the electrical plant, or you could call it a powerhouse. Yeah, this sanctuary is green. It's using tributaries gravity to generate electricity for the church. They do put on a light show at night. And check out these wonderful rapids in the river. What a beautiful place. It's a tight, narrow gorge. And further downstream looking in, some of the rapids look really interesting and fun. But the water is rather dark and murky. I think it's clean because it smells good, but I wouldn't drink it. Yet one more angle at the local powerhouse for the church. One more view, show you from the other side. Really beautiful here and very green. I love the nature of this place. I'd say Colombia, it's very, very fun and very green. There are far more trees in the Sierra, in the mountains, than you will find in Ecuador's. That said, I love both countries dearly. The ride here was 15 mil via a taxi, and due to necessity, the ride back to the terminal in a Collectivo is 3.5 mil, but it'll also cost an additional 6 mil to get back toward my hotel. Okay, actually, it worked out even better in the Collectivo. He dropped me off in El Centro at 20 de Julio. Okay, this is a main square, and it's within easy walking distance of my hotel. I've been here before. So, actually, that was really cool. 3.5 mil to get all the way back. Not that 15 mil in a taxi was a bad deal either. By the way, check out my video about Hotel Avante. It was a really nice day, and I recommend it.